Arcade experts, tell me what's going wrong with my jammer setup. This is not a jammer setup, this is me trying to get better at Image Fight and failing absolutely miserably. Superb game though. What the conundrum is this. So this is not my first rodeo with jammer setups. I had a super gun in the early 2000s with this game. This is Cebu Olympic Cup Soccer. I've had this in the past. Before that, I had the bootleg of this, Goal 92. It's one of my absolutely my favourite arcade soccer game from the time. Absolutely superb. Just love the graphics. And you couldn't play it in MAME. I don't know if you can. Maybe you can play the bootleg Goal 92. Whatever the case, back in the day, you couldn't play it in MAME. So I needed it indoors, and I just wanted it again for prosperity. So I've had this a while, actually. And I had this supergun, but I never had a switching power supply, which you need to power this. So my mate gave me this supergun here, kindly, which uses an ATX ATX power supply. So I bought an ATX power supply, plugged it all in, and nothing comes on. So I thought, they're giving me a duff power supply. I tested the power supply scientifically by bridging the pins with a paper clip, and the power supply fires up okay. So is this extremely dangerous? So I thought, in my mind, maybe the power supply can't switch on because it's switched on at the back, but it needs like a PC power switch to trigger itself on, I thought maybe. But I can't remember having that back in the day. I'm sure I just had a supergun and an ATX PSU, and I turned it on, it just started straight away. I can't remember it having an on switch or anything like this, or an extra on switch, so I thought, I'll be clever, maybe I'm absolutely dumb. I pulled the wires out that trigger the turning on of the power supply, and I tied them together. Is that very dangerous? Maybe, but whatever the case, that hasn't worked either. So tell me what I'm doing wrong here. The power supply, I can prove, comes on. That lead, the power lead over there, that works, that's tested. This has been knocking about for a while, but I don't know, and I've got no reason to believe the supergun doesn't work. So, ideas on a postcard. Cheers.